So just want to welcome everybody to our ribbon cutting ceremony for the Greater Hartford Reentry Welcome Center. It's such an exciting day. It's a special day. It's a special day for the city, for community partners in action, but most importantly, it's a special day for the people that we serve here, people coming home to this community from incarceration. This place exists because of you and for you. Just briefly want to just take a moment to thank everybody that had that helped us get here today. In particular, and I don't want to miss anybody, but Sue Gunderman, Deborah Gala, Judy McBride. About 1 year ago, Deb and Sue, we decided to tour this site. Our space was getting a little tight at Hartford City Hall, and we had vision. I think you'll see that vision when you go inside. I know you'll see that vision. And there's more to come. This site offers so many opportunities for the future for people coming home to Hartford. So when we toured here that day, Sue, Deb, and I, we said, we need to go back and call Judy. And so just to let you know, Judy and the Hartford Foundation have been supporting the Reentry Welcome Center since its inception. And they had just awarded us almost $500,000 for another 3 years for the center. And here we were asking Judy to help us yet again relocate to an expanded site where we could offer more people services and have our partners on site. And at first I think she was ready to strangle Deb and I, but she called back a couple weeks later, and here we are today. So thank you so much for believing in us, Judy. And of course, the center would never be possible with our strategic partner, the City of Hartford. And I just want to thank Mayor Luke. Serving the reentry population was part of his agenda since day one, and we would definitely not be here today if it wasn't for Mayor Luke and his administration. So thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Beth. Thank you and the entire team at Community Partners in Action. You have been doing this work for so many years and building this coalition for so many years, and we're so grateful for your partnership and leadership in launching the Reentry Welcome Center in Hartford to begin with, and for continuing this mission in an expanded way. There are so many people to thank, but first I just want to step back and talk a little bit about how we got here and what this means. And when we opened up the Reentry Welcome Center in City Hall in 2018. It was a milestone in the city's efforts to make second chance society a reality, to be serious about reentry. And it was because of the recognition that we are all better if everybody has a chance to build the life that they want. And nobody's better off if they've got permanent obstacles in front of them. When folks were coming back to the city of Hartford before the Reentry Welcome Center opened, all too often, the Department of Corrections would drop them off at a corner in Hartford with no resources, no connection to resources, nowhere to go. And the vision of the Reentry Welcome Center at that time, which was something that Community Partners in Action and the broader Greater Hartford Reentry Council had worked on, was to have a place where folks could come to end a sentence and get connected to resources, get connected to caring, knowledgeable members of a team who would identify those obstacles that were in their path and help to eliminate them. Knowing how difficult that was, knowing that there's never going to be the ability to take all those obstacles away, but knowing that we're all going to be better off if it's easier for somebody to find a job, or to get connected back to education, or to live somewhere where they can be a part of their family's life. And that's the work that the team at the Reentry Welcome Center has been doing for these last 4 years. And more than 1,000 people have come through and gotten the support from that team. And so I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you not only to CPA, but to everybody who's been in that Reentry Welcome Center doing that work day after day with doors open, arms open, hearts open, to say we want to help and we want to support. So let's give a round of applause to the entire team at the Reentry Welcome Center. I also want to say a huge thank you to Sue Gunderman, without whom none of this would be possible on the city side. She has been the linchpin of our efforts. And also a huge thank you to Thea Montanez, who is our Chief Operating Officer, but has been deeply committed to this work and has worked hand in hand with Sue and with the entire team throughout. So I'm grateful to those folks and so many more. But now let's talk about what this means. You know, when we opened up in 2018, we said that there's a lot of power in having this Reentry Welcome Center in City Hall, because we wanted to send the message that this community belongs to everybody. That if you've made a mistake, and if you've paid that price, and you've paid your debt to society, and you're coming back, this is your community, and we welcome you back. This is your City Hall, and it belongs to you as much as to anybody. The flip side is, we had a limited space, limited capacity. This place is the evolution of that vision and evolution of that mission. Because inside this building, we can finally offer a true one-stop shop where multiple agencies, nearly 40 partners, can have a presence and be there to support those who are coming back and need to get connected to resources. This is a huge step forward. And so we're here to celebrate that and to say thank you to those who made this possible. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to the Hartford Foundation, to Jay Williams, to Judy, to the entire team at the Hartford Foundation who embraced this cause and this mission from day one and were critical in providing the funding that has made the Reentry Welcome Center work happen over the last 4 years and also made this expanded work possible. I also want to say a huge thank you to our federal partners. Some of the funding that is making this expanded Reentry Welcome Center possible is coming from the Department of Justice in the form of a grant, about $750,000 grant that makes a huge difference. In addition to that, because Senator Murphy and Senator Blumenthal and Congressman Larson fought so hard for those American Rescue Plan resources to come to local communities and trusted local communities to make the decisions about how to make those investments, we were able to dedicate $900,000 more, $300,000 a year to this effort as well. Those two sources of federal funding are absolutely indispensable, and neither one of them would happen without the tremendous leadership of our federal delegation. So I'm going to introduce Senator Murphy in a second, but in the meantime, let's give our whole delegation a round of applause for the work that they've done. Finally, I just want to say a big thank you also to our City Council, who has been committed to this work. I know a lot of them wanted to be here, Council President Mallory Rosado, Councilwoman Marilyn Rossetti, but our entire council has been supportive of this work from day one when we wanted to put it in City Hall and now this expansion. And of course, we're partners in putting that American Rescue Plan investment plan together. So I'm grateful to them. But more than anything else, I want to say thank you to everybody who has been doing this work long before 2018, to everybody who's been doing this work from our Reentry Welcome Center, to everybody who is going to be doing this work out of this expanded Reentry Welcome Center here. And also to the partners who are critical to making this successful. And that are the folks who may be outside these walls, but are nonetheless a part of this effort. Folks like our Department of Corrections, like Connecticut, the Court Support Services Division of our judicial branch. Folks like our Hartford Police Department, which has been so supportive of this effort from day one. Chief Thodey's here, and I want to say thank you to him and the team as well. We're lucky to have a community that gets it, that understands that we are all better off, that our city is stronger, our neighborhoods are safer when we can welcome folks home and make it possible for them to build a better life. Now, without further ado, let me turn this over to one of those federal partners I mentioned. Senator Murphy has also gotten it from day one when it comes to reentry. And I cannot say thank you enough to him and the federal delegation for everything they did to make initiatives like this possible, and also for being here always in our community, for our community, including today. Senator Murphy, thank you for everything you're doing down there for us, and thank you for being here with us.
Well, Luke, thank you so much for your insistence that this city stand up and do the right thing for those who are coming out of prison and re-entering the Hartford community. And let me add my thanks to those at Community Partners in Action and all of your partners who had the vision to make this day a reality. You had the vision to set up the facility in City Hall, which communicated this incredibly important message at an incredibly important time. But let me also add thanks from the rest of the state, because what you're doing here in Hartford is a model for the rest of this state. What you are doing to aggressively seek out federal funds, to use American Rescue Plan dollars, to build as big a table as possible to support our reentry population. It's a challenge to other communities to do the same. And so the impact that you're going to have through this building and this new investment, primarily it will be felt by families here in Hartford. But I have no doubt that what you are doing is going to challenge and inspire similar communities around the state to do the same thing. Let's be honest about what our challenge is. We made a decision, a wrong decision in this nation, to triple the number of people under correctional supervision over the last 30 years. We have an extraordinary rate of incarceration. We are a global outlier. And one of the consequences of that decision is that those individuals, when they re-enter society, find these barriers and these roadblocks to re-entry, to getting back into the workforce, to finding housing that often become permanent. A criminal sentence shouldn't be a permanent housing death sentence. A criminal sentence shouldn't be a permanent employment death sentence, but it often is for too many people here in Hartford. Well, you're doing the hard work of changing that reality. You're doing the hard work of making sure that everybody that gets out of prison in Hartford has an easy place to go to be able to find the help that they need. And that makes a difference because we've constructed a bureaucracy in this country and where there's often an alphabet soup of agencies that are all there to be helpful, but are often inaccessible for individuals who just went through one of the most traumatic experiences that anyone could go through, arrest and incarceration, and then to be released and have to navigate a complex system to get back into housing, to find a job, to get back into therapy, to get back on your medications. It's often a wall that is just too high to scale. So by putting all of this in one place, in a spot that's accessible to the neighborhoods, man, it's an absolute difference maker. And I am proud of the federal contribution here. President Biden, about a year ago, announced a groundbreaking partnership between the Department of Labor and the Department of Justice to fund centers just like this. And it's a $375,000 federal grant that the mayor worked hard to get, the delegation helped with, alongside those American Rescue Plan funds that make this possible. And so you'll find a lot of people out there who, are going to ask questions about what happened to those emergency COVID dollars. How did they make a difference in our community? Well, you're looking at it. Without those American Rescue Plan dollars, we couldn't open this facility. And this is directly relevant to our response to COVID. Because if you are coming out of prison, you face long odds no matter the circumstances. But if you are coming out of incarceration in the middle of a pandemic, in the aftermath of a pandemic, well, the challenge is even greater. So I'm glad that the federal government was able to step up and play a role here. But let me be honest, this application sold itself because DOJ knows that Hartford is a place that is innovating and investing when it comes to the reentry population. And that's due chiefly because of the partners that we have here assembled today that have decided to lead, but it is also because Mayor Bronin has decided from day one to make this a priority and to challenge the rest of the state to follow Hartford's lead. So I'm just grateful to be here on behalf of the delegation, on behalf of Senator Blumenthal and Congressman Larson, who were big players in getting the American Rescue Plan passed and getting this DOJ award here on the ground in Hartford. What you're doing is going to make a big difference here in Hartford and all across the state. Congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Judy McBride, and I'm Director of Strategic Partnership Investments at the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving. We have been honored since the inception of the idea of a one-stop center for support and referral services since its beginning. It was back in 2016 when we awarded an innovations grant to Community Partners in Action, working closely with the City of Hartford even back then, and all the partners who I'm so pleased to see today represented, because you are the heart and soul of why this model works. For me, this is a red letter day. I worked at the U.S. Department of Justice when we first birthed the idea of reentry. I was one of the aides that was called in and said, we need to do a better job on addressing recidivism and ensuring that communities, we engage with communities so that they're able to provide the support. So all these years later, that was 1999, all these years later, we see this flagship, a wonderful example of public-private partnerships. And for the Hartford Foundation, it was natural that we wanted to work with others to respond to addressing the immediate stabilizing supports that folks, men and women coming out of incarceration, we know need. It helps to advance the economic mobility, ensuring through job training and placement, I'm going to emphasize placement into jobs, as well as providing the wraparound support. Central to this work is really addressing the persistent discrimination that these men and women experience and working together to dismantle structural racism. So I want to just say how pleased I am to be part of this public-private partnership. The City of Hartford has been committed since the beginning, since that innovation grant. And it's only through that long-standing support and the support Senator Murphy talked about, DOJ, now at this point in time, providing critical support that we're going to be able to address and really realize the vision of this center, which is a one-stop shop that folks coming home can get the support they need. So thank you. Good to be with all of you.
Thanks so much, Judy. I was thinking back on when we first started working together, and it was at this location on a U.S. Department of Labor grant. And that was probably 2005. So it's been wonderful working with you all these years. So we're talking all about, the impact of the Reentry Welcome Center and this important work. I just want to remind everybody that Community Partners in Action has been around since 1875. And for nearly 150 years, this has been our work. This has been our mission and our passion. And I can't help but think back to the founding fathers, that they must be smiling down on this day today to see how far the agency has come in the ability to offer these services. So just want to introduce a key partner to our work. Without the Connecticut Department of Correction, we would not be able to serve the people here at the center or in any of our programs. The collaboration that they give to us and the work that we do together has been amazing over the years, and gives me great pleasure to introduce District Administrator Eulalia Garcia. She is an incredible partner, always willing to meet with us, solve any challenges that we're having, whether we're having trouble getting inside or meeting with somebody. She's always there to help us. So, Lali, thank you.
much, Beth, and thank you all. I just want to give a quick shout out to all of the DOC employees here because you guys came and represented in a huge way. So if everyone from DOC can just raise their hands so everyone can acknowledge you. Thank you so much. Thank you all. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here on behalf of Commissioner Guidos to represent the Department of Correction today. And it is so amazing to see all of the stakeholders and partners that we work with on a daily basis to make sure that there's successful reentry for all of the residents in our care. Good morning to all of you, Mayor Bronin, Mr. Williams of the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving, Executive Director Roberge, who we work with quite often, Beth Hines with Community Partners in Action, Sue Gunderman, known as Gunder Woman, and all of our distinguished guests. It is truly my honor to be a part of this special day. On behalf of myself, Commissioner Guidos, and the entire team at the Department of Correction, I want to offer my sincere gratitude to all of you for having the foresight of seeing the benefits of providing a one-stop shop for justice-involved individuals returning to their community. Suffice it to say, none of us would be here today if it weren't for your efforts. Again, thank you so much. I don't think I can overstate the need for this type of collaboration. Despite the daunting challenges that individuals face upon their release, we at the Department of Correction are committed to helping them return to their communities and become productive members of the society. Since we began tracking data a little more than 2 years ago, the Department of Correction has brought nearly 300 individuals to the Reentry Welcome Center. And now that you have moved to a bigger and better location, that number will only continue to grow. I know I am preaching to the choir when I say that having a place for returning citizens to receive services has a strong impact on our recidivism reduction efforts because it refocuses individuals' time and efforts on positive behaviors. Rather than being left to their own devices and falling back on old habits, these individuals are provided the opportunity to live a more pro-social lifestyle, which is essential for successful reintegration and breaking the cycle of incarceration. Many of the positive benefits of the reentry welcome are quantifiable: reduced recidivism, enhanced public safety, fiscal impact, etc. However, for me, one of the most important benefits provided by the Reentry Welcome Center is an intangible one. In a word, that intangible benefit is hope. The dictionary definition of hope as a noun is the feeling that what is wanted can be had, or that events will turn out for the best. As a verb, the definition is to look forward to with desire and reasonable confidence. It's not often that terms like events turning out for the best, looking forward to, and reasonable confidence are used in association with justice-involved individuals. But thanks to collaboration of all of the partners represented here today, and the hard work of individuals like Beth Hines, Virginia Lewis, and her staff, there is a real and tangible reason for recently released individuals to have hope, to have something positive to look forward to have reasonable confidence that the future will be better, to hope or even expect that things will work out for the best. On behalf of the Department of Correction, I offer my sincere gratitude and congratulations to all of those who played a role in the expansion of the Reentry Welcome Center, but also to those who toil tirelessly on a daily basis to help individuals returning to their community have the best chance possible for success. In other words, thank you for providing those returning home with hope, and as we know it, with hope anything is possible. Thank you again for allowing me to be a part of this special occasion, and thank you all so very much for not giving up and working day in and day out to ensure that our residents are safely reintegrated into society. And that is all that I have for now. I'm looking forward to the open house, and thank you all for being here.
Thanks so much, Lally. So one of the greatest needs of the people that come to the center from incarceration is housing, safe and stable housing. And we have been working with our partner, Court Support Services Division of the Connecticut Judicial Branch, and they have been instrumental in helping us to make inroads in solving this significant problem that we're having. I want to give a huge shout out to Michael Ayalo. Probably wasn't expecting to get the shout out, but you are the best, Michael. It's because of you and your work that we're going to start making inroads for the homeless population, and we're really grateful. And so I would like to introduce the Executive Director of Court Support Services Division, Gary Roberge. CSSD has been an incredible partner to CPA for 50, 60 years now, maybe. And so really grateful that he's able to join us here today and speak on CSSD's behalf.
Thank you, Beth. Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, I should say. It's still morning. It's good to see you all, and I really appreciate Community Partners in Action giving me an opportunity to say a few remarks on the branch's behalf about the relocation and the expansion of the Welcome Center. But in keeping with our colleagues in Department of Correction, I first have to thank my team in the branch at CSSD. If you all could raise your hand and just know who you are. I'm lucky I got a great team. But you know what? It doesn't happen without you all here in this parking lot working with us, and I'll get to that in a minute. I can remember, Beth, when we were meeting in CPA's conference room planning the original Welcome Center. We did a lot of planning on that program, and as the mayor noted, it served 1,000 people so far, right? And it's going to serve thousands more. And it's doing incredible work for all the reasons that the mayor, the senator, that Judy, that Lolly all talked about, right? They do phenomenal work here. And the branch couldn't be more pleased and happy to partner with Community Partners Action in this. Beth was talking about the housing. We did a lot of really good work with the mayor's office in the city and Community Partners in Action during the pandemic for our folks that were coming out of the Department of Correction and didn't have housing during that time, right? And we're able to secure housing for them, and we've worked on a couple of programs now where we have a rapid rehousing program with the Department of Housing as a partner, and the Mercy Center and Community Partners in Action. And now we have a housing specialist that will be working out of this location in that program to secure housing for folks that are coming out of DOC and need some assistance transitioning back into the community, right? And the majority of these folks coming back are with us in the branch in our adult probation office in the city of Hartford. And like I said, we can't do our work. We can't be successful in the work that we do with our clients, right, without programs like this, the other programs that Community Partners in Action run, and the other providers that we have throughout the state. So I just really want to take a minute here to thank and congratulate all of the individuals that work here and the other programs in Community Partners in Action and the other programs that we contract with throughout the state that help our clients both on the sentenced and on the pretrial side. You do outstanding work, and I always say that we can't get the excellent results that we get with respect to reducing recidivism and getting people to a better place in their lives, right? The people we're working with, the families that we're working on, we can't do that without you all. So I just want to close by thanking Mayor Bronin for all of his support over the years and the work that we're doing in the branch, Senator Murphy and the delegation, certainly Judy and our colleagues at the Department of Correction and our colleagues at Department of Housing. It's truly, we're lucky here in Connecticut to be so collaborative in how we execute the important work that we have to do with the clients that we serve. So congratulations to Community Partners in Action. Congratulations to all the folks here working with our clients, and look forward. We got a lot of progress to make, but I look forward to doing a lot of good work in the future and helping folks out. So thank you everybody for your time today. Have a good day.
All right, thank you, Gary. So now, actually, I always think this is the highlight of the program. I want to introduce Peter Diaz. If you would please come and join me. Peter would like to say a few words about his experience at the Welcome Center.
Good morning, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? I'm happy to be here because it's Stride. I'm a little nervous to get here. To be honest. So I'm going to be straight up and open with you. I love Stride. Stride helped me out over a year and a half. Like I said, I work for Stride. I was involved with Stride over a year and a half, and they opened doors for me. They showed me ways and things that I couldn't complete and done on myself. When I was down and out, George Denton was there for me as well, Stride and Susan. And when I needed somebody to talk to, Stride was there. They showed me so much. When I say so much, they showed me how to do a resume, how to talk to people. Because I was stubborn, I was hard-headed when I was growing up, I'll be honest. So I had to reconstruct myself and rebuild myself again. And now I'm happy who I am. I'm happy because Strive showed me the path and the way. I'm assistant manager for Food Service of Pride. I just bought my house, my vehicle. I'm engaged now, going to church. I couldn't complete that without God and George did it and Strive helping me out. They open, like I said, they open doors, and I'm happy and I love it. And for everybody coming out of conservation, listen, don't take no for an answer. Continue to fight, continue to build yourself, and you know what, don't look down on nobody. Just continue to grow and say, you know what, I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna continue to do what I have to do, climb the ladder of success. But if you continue to hang around with the negativity, you're gonna go back to the system again, and you don't want that. You don't want to eat commissary, you know that stuff. You want to grow, eat real food, get a paycheck, and live right. That's what I got to say. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much, Peter. So we have one more participant who would like to share her experience at the center, and her name is Cassandra. Come on up.
Hi everyone, I'm Cassandra Johnson, born and raised here in Hartford. I've been around drugs all my life. In 2019, I was incarcerated in Gary Correctional Facility until September 2021. During the time, I took advantage and completed the DOC Tier 2 program. I also worked in the kitchen as a baker. I took part in the Yale Study Treatment Program. It was during that time that my counselor advised me to talk to my mom about the effects of my incarceration and drug use on our whole family and life. That was a turning point for me because it was the motivation for me to give myself a second chance because I deserved it and my family did too. Staying in touch with my son was important while I was incarcerated, and he still has all my letters I wrote him that I kept in touch with him through an app called Emilio that allowed me to send updates and photographs to him. Some people think jail is bad, but it actually saved my life. I needed it at that time. After my release in September, I talked to my case manager, Amy, at Community Partners of Action, who had begun to support me before my release. She helped me secure housing, access essentials, supplies, clothing, a phone for connection, and job referrals, which led to apply for me for my job where I now work as a full-time kitchen manager at Market Girl in Manchester. Being clean for 2 years has helped me reunite with my family, including my 12-year-old son. I am also supporting myself as well as him. I've never been busier and more happier about life before. By taking advantage of the programs and resources available to me, I've been able to achieve all my goals and to create a second chance at life for myself. I've been around drugs all my life. You have to have willpower to turn away. So now, if I see people doing drugs, I tell them I'm clean, please stop. Amy Arroyo has been the best woman I've ever had a chance to know. She has a beautiful spirit and really takes the lives of others she helps seriously. She always wants the best for me. We stay in regular contact and talk at a set each week, so we could keep on track and she supports me. She's a mentor, she's a confidant. She's the most gracious worker I've ever had in my life. In closing, I'd like to thank my sister, which she's at work right now. My son, he's right here in the audience. My mom, my best friend, Kiana. And thank you.
Let's hear it again for Cassandra and for Peter. Our whole city is so proud of you. And again, so grateful to everybody who makes that kind of work possible. You heard a few folks mention, and I talked about the team, but I want to call out specifically, in addition to Sue, the Gunder woman, I also want to say just a specific thanks to Verge. Verge Lewis, I mean, she is just heart and soul in this forever. And to George as well, who's such a huge part of this team, to Amy, to MJ, to Jaya, to Mabel, to Rebecca. Those folks are the core of this team, but of course, as you look around today, you see how many partners are a part of that team. I know the cameras can't catch it, but there's an awful lot of people standing around, and that's just not an indication of how many people are excited about this opening. It's an indication of how many people are a part of this center and a part of it opening. And I also just want to say, echoing what I think Gary said, we should for a second just think about how lucky we are that we're in the state of Connecticut, where we have a Department of Corrections that partners in the way that the Connecticut Department of Corrections does. That's not true of every Department of Corrections around the state. This team is extraordinary in their commitment to this part of the mission, to helping with the transition back. And it is rare, it is powerful, it is valuable, and we as a community are really, really thankful for it. And the same thing is true for CSSD and the incredible constant partnership that they give the city as well. So, and lastly, I know I mentioned City Council, but I saw our Majority Leader TJ Clark here, and he has also been deeply committed to this work. And I want to say thank you to Councilman Clark for all of his commitment and partnership to this. So, again, thank you to everybody, and especially to the team at Community Partners in Action, who've been, as you said, doing this work for 150 years, but doing it in a big way in the city of Hartford, and in a bigger way starting today. I want to just, I'm not going to read this entire thing. So I'm just going to start about halfway through. But whereas the Reentry Welcome Center team's passion for their work helps pave the path for formerly incarcerated people to have a second chance and to build a better life for themselves, their families, and their community. And whereas this new expanded Reentry Welcome Center creates a permanent home where their important work can grow and continue to serve even more people in their times of need, now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Luke Bronin, Mayor of the City of Hartford, along with the Court of Common Council and the citizens of Hartford, do hereby thank Community Partners in Action for their dedication and partnership in running the Reentry Welcome Center for the City of Hartford, and congratulate the center and all of its partners on this new home at 716 Windsor Street. Thanks so much to everybody.